Hello and welcome to episode 250 of the Gamers Confessional. We only literally just realised it was episode 250, which is why Pet's produced a beautiful quiz for us, haven't you, Pet?
Yay!
Yay, quiz time. No,
No.
no, Pet, Pet, you there? You there, Pet? He's
Uh,
running out the door.
I got nothing.
No, so maybe you've done a nice like Dungeons and Dragons themed kind of special, right?
I didn't realize it was 250. No one actually mentioned it, so I
Don't you listen
no.
to the show every week when I say welcome to episode 249, 200?
I'll do something for 251. How's that?
We'll see. 251 might be a busy one, to be fair,
Oh
because
yeah.
we have our first member of the next gen community with us, Mr. Clarky. We're not talking about that. No. For those listening on audio, Clarky is showing us something that's completely irrelevant and probably belongs to the 1980s, but there we go. How are you, Mr. Clarky?
I'm good, mate.
Yeah, we managed to drag you off the aforementioned Xbox Series. Hang on, Xbox Series X. Is that it? Is that the full title? I can never remember.
Yeah, that's it. It's written backwards on the box behind me, isn't it?
No, it's forwards on the box behind you, but it's
Is it?
really tiny writing. Yep, there it is. There it is. The box. You could sell that on eBay. Just
How
seriously,
much
just
is it
put.
going for? How much a box?
Oh, shall we talk about it? Because I've been trying to get my hands on one.
No,
Absolutely.
just boxes. Like, can you
Oh
sell
no,
a
you don't
box?
tell them it's just a box, Pat.
Oh,
You put it up there and go Xbox box.
Put a brick in it.
Don't
and
even
then,
need to do that because then people just go on there and go, "Oh yeah, I love that," and then they get it. And it's a box. I told you it was an Xbox. It's just a box. You see, they did that. Where was it? It might have been the 360 when that came out or something. And loads of people fell for it apparently when they first started doing
I
it.
was selling an Xbox box.
Yeah, people fell for it. It was a bit ridiculous. But no, I've been trying to get hold of one. So I've had loads of stock alerts set up from, I'm not going to tell you the site in case there's other people out there listening or watching and they're planning to sort of jump me. Not literally jumping me, but
there's a lot of people plan to jump you to do
yeah,
that.
loads of people have to walk around the streets being really careful. But like on Stock Inform or whatever. And every time I get a bloody stock alert, and I rush to the site and it's like some fuckers put it on Amazon for like 1,200 quid or something, and it just makes me really cross. Did you see that one on Facebook where the bloke could put up there something like "fuck you haters" or something like that, and just had like a picture of like 20 PS5s in his living room or something like that?
Why?
Just no, he was selling them all on, but he was just basically saying, "I don't care what you think."
How did he get 20 PS5?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. Maybe he jumped lots of people. There's a lot of jumping going on.
I think what they need to look at doing is I think websites need to look at doing some sort of like ticket system where they automatically inflate the cost of the console by about
Some kind of
$2,000
voucher
or something. Yeah,
some kind of voucher
yeah,
scheme.
some sort of voucher scheme. Yeah,
Because that would probably prevent it, right?
Well, it sounds like the person that's buying it for 2,000, like 20 PS5s, will probably buy a PS5 for £2,000 anyway.
I don't think he'd buy that many. To be fair. I think he could afford to, not at £2,000 a pop. So yes, Clarky has had his Xbox. There was a lot of excitement in the atmosphere. Lots of people getting their boxes of X. Lots of people learning how to make their Xbox vape, which was quite amusing for about 30 seconds.
How was your launch day, Clarky?
it was great. Thank you, Amazon. So, yeah, I got mine the day after launch day, after it just sitting there saying, it's been dispatched today. It'll be delivered today. You know, it still said delivery Tuesday on Wednesday.
So it's so bad.
So you don't get that service from Curry's, mate. Everyone got theirs on launch day from
Tell
Curry's.
me about it. Curry's all the way in future for me. So yeah, when I eventually got it on Wednesday, very, very early on Wednesday, I might add. I'll tell you something, guys. I hope your consoles arrive day and date because that was just a horrible, horrible day.
I actually totally forgot that it was due next week. I forgot my PS5 was launching next week. I completely forgot about it.
Don't downplay it.
No, seriously, I totally
not
forgot.
bothered me.
I'm not. This is the least faith I've ever had on a pre-order arriving on time ever. Like there's no chance Curry's is delivered on. I'll take this all back if they do, but I think there's a 1% chance.
It's a bit late.
Bet if Amazon fucked up, then you've no chance from Curry.
That's what I mean. If Amazon couldn't deliver to Clarky on day one, there's no chance Curry's is delivering.
But you got to remember, Clarky's out in the sticks up beyond the M25. Yeah, anything north of the M4.
Yeah, that's true though. London people do get like a better Amazon delivery service.
I don't know.
Not London people, like London postcodes, I should have said.
I'm waiting for them to try and deliver it to you by drone and then get into your French doors and just smacking into it, just going thump, 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 as you hear this PS5 shattering in the box.
Yeah, then it'll kind of think that you're not. It'll kind of think that you're not in and start to fly away, and it'll just drop it from the air in the middle of Kingston or something. You'll be like,
little shards of plastic falling out of the box.
Last time you'll see that.
It's the future. Come on, Clarky, talk to us about your...
Oh, I tried to if you weren't like just constantly interrupting me. So vibes there. So yeah, when I finally got it on Wednesday and I'd spent half an hour crying on the floor with it and cuddling it, fuck off the pair here.
What?
This is what you do.
I'm just checking my phone.
I can't do it. That's why I started using my phone as my webcam. Sick of your fucking grousing everywhere.
Go on, Clarky. So what happened?
So yeah, after I'd finished, with a tear in my eye, accepted it off the Amazon driver, cuddled it on the floor for half an hour crying.
What, the Amazon driver?
Oh no, he was minging, mate. In fact, I don't like to judge a book by its cover, but I'm surprised he even delivered it to me. He looked like the sort of person.
Hang on. Sorry, did you just accept it off the delivery bloke?
Yeah, why?
You didn't put it into like 72 hours of quarantine?
Oh, fuck off.
No, you are supposed to leave it outside your house on your doorstep for 72 hours before touching
Bullshit. Nobody's doing that.
You decontaminate it. You can get a decontamination wipe, decontaminate it, then play it.
Not just a wet wipe. That don't count, Clarky.
I
don't know what your mama told you, but...
No, it's got to be like antibacterial wipes.
Fucking Jesus Christ. So yeah, when we finally get to it, I opened said box of X, took a beautifully packaged.
Is it like the Ark of the Covenant?
Oh yeah. Well, my face melted off the moment I opened it up because of the heat.
There's clouds of smoke billowing.
No, there were none of that. Plugged it all in. It switched on.
Well, good.
And then I was kind of like stressing a bit because I thought, oh fuck, I can't remember my Windows login password. Anyway, first thing it comes up with is none of that bullshit. It says, oh, have you got the app on your phone? I was like, oh, yeah, I've got the app on my phone. Open the app up, just enter the code that appears on your app. That signed the Xbox into my account, which was really handy. And then on the phone again, it said, right, let's get your internet sorted, choose your network, sign into it, and away I went. Then got
there was a proper pause. I was like, what did he do after the internet?
What happened next?
Yeah.
Well, I was sitting there thinking he's going to boot up the console and then go, right, and then go, there's nothing to play on it. But you actually sent me a 20-second video of just this list of downloads that you had queued up.
Well, I'll admit, I mean, the launch lineup for both consoles is pretty fucking sparse. So I was kind of glad that I'd left out a lot of Xbox games and not bothered playing them because I was kind of.
PS5 is okay, I would say.
What's that?
PS5 is okay. Has a launch lineup like the Demon Souls, the Spider-Mans.
Oh, don't get me started on the Spider-Man.
Is that it?
Well,
no, there's like other stuff that I'm not interested in, like the Bugs game, whatever it's called.
Snacks.
Bug Snacks. This generation's knack.
Yeah, the Bugs game.
Somebody, I'm sure it was somebody in midlife or something, put a post up showing like his kid spent something like 90 hours in Knack or something. I mean, fair play, but bloody hell. I mean, it takes all sorts.
You guys go for it, but I'm sorry, over my dead body, am I admitting that Spider-Man's a full launch game? I was looking on YouTube at some of the Let's Plays that have appeared. They're all between 4 and 5.5 hours long.
That's okay, right? Well, it's not full price though, is it?
It's 50 quid. Price. Yeah, 50 quid for 5 hours.
I don't think it's not. I don't know. We got to be careful, Clarky. I don't want us to say like it's fine. You haven't played it. You've seen a playthrough which the guy might have run through it from A to B.
Like, you might have cut out all those lengthy loading times.
Yeah,
I get you.
Most people are saying it's 10 hours. That's the average.
I get you, but when you see a list of like 30 Let's Plays and they're all roughly the same amount of time, you kind of think.
Well,
Does
let's
he
play
know?
it first
Anyway,
and see.
that's
Yeah.
your story to tell next week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, leave it out.
Yeah, you can play through it on Thursday.
Why
And
don't you
tell
tell
us.
us about the
It's okay.
games you've been playing?
Talk about your Xbox launch games,
Yeah,
Clarky. What Xbox
Oh,
launch games
fucking
did you play?
absolutely fuck all, mate.
exactly. So you've moved on to Spider-Man already. Like,
So in hours length, how long do you reckon? Oh dear. But yeah, so you had loads downloaded. What was
so
first
what's
on
the
your
first thing you
list?
booted up? Yeah, like what?
Come on, where's the excitement, Clarky?
Is that if that's it? Just
No,
looks good. There's
because you're
no.
just gonna go, oh, when I tell you.
Oh, Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Knack.
Nah, it's not even on there. No, it was
Was it?
Destiny 2.
Oh.
Oh, it's all right. I'm not gonna review that because it's just more Destiny.
He was so
Please,
close to
please,
reeling me
please,
in again,
please
Pat.
don't.
Pat, he was
Well,
so close to reeling me in again.
anyway, I've not even got past the setup bit yet. The interesting part, boys.
What
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
part?
No,
Wow.
so I've finished setting up the UI, and it's really, really snappy. You
The
know,
same,
usually when
isn't
you,
it, as this year's?
yeah, but it's not like you press a button and 5 seconds later it moves down or something. It's like instant.
It's not a
Oh,
PlayStation, mate.
Oh, fuck, don't. Because one of the things I did, I took the SSD out of the PS4 so I could
Oh,
use it as additional storage and put the old hard drive in the PS Pro. Went back on it and I'm like, fuck
this
me,
is how
trying
the
to
other
get through
half
the
lived,
menu. Like,
Clarky.
press right 5 times and about a minute later, I'm like, Jesus Christ, what have we been doing this
Yeah,
generation?
straight past the thing you wanted and then back again, and oh, it's a nightmare. It is a
Yeah,
nightmare.
my first impressions of it, I'm really, 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 really happy with it. One of the other games, I was playing Gears 5. I know I said I wouldn't, but that did look very nice, and it does look very, very fucking nice. Runs really smoothly and everything, and I don't know why, because I don't get why this would even be the case. It even sounds better. I don't know if that's because of that Dolby shit they've got going through
You
it
still
now.
going through your TV, or are you
with
going through your headset?
3D
Head
audio, whatever.
headset, because they have
What
that
about the free?
They have Dolby Atmos for headphones, don't they?
What headset is that you're wearing?
That's my Sony one, mate. That's the one I've been using.
I thought it looked familiar. The same as
There you
mine, I
go.
think.
That's the gold, isn't it?
It is, mate.
I don't know which ones I've got, but they look the same sort of
You
thing.
got the 2.1s definitely, with the blue strap. I've seen
Yeah,
you've
that's
got
right. Yeah.
Yeah, the
2.1s.
ones that fold in on themselves.
Yeah,
One
which
that
are actually better than the golds.
Well,
Pet loves
obviously,
them.
obviously.
But
So
I
yeah,
am at Black Friday turning up. I'm gonna have to get myself a new headset though for the PC and
so
Xbox.
yeah, the sound quality is great because it kind of gives you like 3D audio through a normal headset, which is
That's
very,
cool.
very nifty.
That's cool.
So yeah,
I've
but
been very jealous. I've been watching like lots of sort of for no reason whatsoever. I've got absolutely no reason to want one, but everyone else has got. I want one now. There we
I
go.
know Pet's going to laugh at this because he hates the design choice on this, but I even ordered myself a battery charger, Pet, and 4 AA batteries, you know, to swap in my controller when they run
yeah,
out.
I hate that stuff. I can't believe we're in 2020. We're still using batteries in our new consoles. Oh
uh,
man.
Vimes, your Elite one doesn't have a battery pack in it, does it? Is it built in on that? Just say yeah. I was kind of giving you the opportunity to jump in.
So no, I'm trying to think. I don't know because I put it back in its little cradle and it charges. So it could have like batteries in it that just charge in the controller, but I don't think so.
Nah, it must have a charger. I mean, I bought for the original Xbox controller. I did buy. You can like I can't remember what it was, like a tenner for an
Play and
official.
charge kit or whatever it was, wasn't it? The little
Yeah. So you
yeah.
take out the
No,
batteries. And
Vimes
you
has got the Elite too. That I think that one actually has a built-in battery, so there's no double A messing around with that.
I don't remember. I mean, I've never seen a battery for it, so I presume it's built. I don't know. I just literally put it back in its cradle and it charges, and
it's got to be a charging battery. Yeah. No,
beautiful
he's
piece of
actually
kit.
got double A's. You got to throw away and put in new double A's in.
Yeah, well, I used to do the play and charge ones for the Xbox were really good. I liked those. Just the little cartridge ones, just click. You know, they're lush. They're good.
The new controller itself, obviously, nowhere near advanced as the PS5 one is, but they made some nice little changes to it. It's kind of rough now on the back, so you don't get that sort of like slippy, sweaty hand feel when you've been playing for ages. They've put some textures on the trigger buttons. It seems a little bit smaller as well.
But I mean, you did ask, you know, is there any point you picking up an Elite? And I was like, no, none
Yeah,
whatsoever.
so I was kind of like well, 2 days before it arrived, kind of thinking, no, I really like the look of that Elite controller. And I'm just thinking, nah, because that's just fucking.
No, it's like I said, because it's like if it was how I imagine the PS5 is going to be, I'd be like, yeah, maybe, but it's not. It's just it's weightier than the normal Xbox One. It's a bit more textured. It feels a bit more quality, but like, and you can do. I mean, but all I ever do on that, as far as the adjustment stuff is, I've even flipped out the D-pad back to the normal D-pad for it. I've shortened the trigger so that when you pull the triggers, it doesn't go like all the way. It just taps
Well,
it.
like
So it's
75% of the way.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
yeah. So it's just it basically means if you're playing an FPS or something, you don't have to pull the trigger all the way in for it to react. You can just tap it, so it gives you a little bit of twitch on there. The bottom paddles, the thing that really annoys me about those is a bit like with the the PS4 did that back plate thing. It's the fact that they don't give you additional inputs; they replace the face buttons. So basically, when you've got the paddles on the back, if you
Yeah, so
choose that
it's
to be like reload, if you choose like one of those to be like reload, it's still reload on the
yeah,
X
it
button or
doesn't
whatever
take it
it is.
away from that button,
Yeah,
does
so it
it?
doesn't free up a face button for
You got
you.
two buttons which are the
Yeah, you
same.
basically got two buttons that do the same thing, which is really quite annoying.
Never noticed that.
I haven't played with it hugely, so I might be wrong. There might be like
A way around it or something.
yeah, there might be some like maybe depending on the game where you can remap it so that it's like gives you literally like 4 extra buttons on it or something. But
So what would you
um,
like to? Because obviously it has to be a button. So what are you saying? You would want one to be like double triangle or something, or
well, just another input. So like sometimes like when you're playing games, you'll have to like hold down a button to shift to another button.
oh, so a combination of two buttons or something
Yeah.
would be
So
fine.
for example, like when you've got, let's say, I don't know, some games you have to like pull the two bumpers in to like activate a power up or something like that.
Yeah,
You could just have that on another button or something like
yeah,
that.
I get you.
But mainly it's for some games where um, you have to kind of hold in one button and it kind of shifts the other buttons. So
Yeah,
like I think
yeah,
it might have been God of War, it might have been Assassin's Creed where you have two. So basically, when you have the face buttons, they do sort of 4 different attacks. But if you hold down the left bumper, it would change those attacks into the second set of attacks. So rather than doing that, you could just have
yeah.
different buttons for them
That'd
instead.
be
So
cool. Yeah,
it's just the ability to give you more buttons because
more options. Yeah.
yeah, as games getting more complicated, it'd be nice to do that. But yeah, I was very pleased. I'm very pleased you're pleased with it, Clarky.
I mean, the big takeaway from it, and I think this is far better in my opinion than sort of a graphical upgrade, if you will. I mean, I'd have taken this if the graphics weren't that much better than PlayStation, just for the load times on these things, because it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, we should talk about that because me and you hooked up on ye olde Sea of Thieves.
Oh my God, that game is just so good. We need to play more of
We need
that.
to play. We need to play. So we should just make a weekly Sea of Thieves night because that game is brilliant. But before we go, so I basically was on my PC using the PC Xbox app or whatever it is, Clarky Game Pass, whatever it is on PC. Clarky's on his Xbox. Managed to hook up it. There's a bit of problems with the just getting into voice chat, but I think that was just because of my headset because I was using like a normal like headset, like a music headset, and it wasn't going through, and it was like wired into my Xbox controller. So it's fine for hearing audio, but maybe the mic doesn't work that way. So I plugged this old crappy headset into the PC directly, and it worked absolutely fine off the bat, didn't it, Clarky?
It did.
But we got into that game, and we did. We both launched the game at the same time to get into
Oh,
game.
yeah, this was well pro, this wasn't it? No stopwatch or anything, just Vimesy counting.
1, 2,
So from the moment
3,
I loaded into the game,
4.
he started counting.
We got to 40 seconds.
Yeah.
I think he landed on the and this is on my PC, right? Which isn't a shoddy PC. It's still running off a hard drive, not an SSD though. It's still running off like a normal platter drive. So
Yeah.
that's what's making the difference. But it's a 40-second difference just to.
But that doesn't sit well for me. Even like, forget new gen now, like, which is so great. Like, you go into it, whatever. Clarky went into it within a split second.
Well,
Like that.
Clarky loaded in what, about 15 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah, but forgetting that, like last gen, like the one that's just gone. Why is a game like I've never actually had any loading issues with any games where I say like this is taking ages. I can I remember 2 in my entire issue, which was one when Bloodborne first came out. That
Oh,
I don't really
Jesus
remember that
Christ.
loading. That was long, and the new Red Dead. But I
See,
never like noticed
I,
any
I
40
think it.
seconds is like a terrible like that. That shouldn't be okay on
what
last gen.
games have you been playing? Because like,
Well, I was just going to say, I
Like
think it.
some
I
games.
think it depends what games Pet's been playing. So I mean,
Yeah.
He hasn't
Call
been
of
playing stuff like.
Duty, like the old Spider-Man.
Call of
you
Duty
name
because
it.
you're in a lobby waiting for the maps to load. Maybe that's why, because you're waiting for other people. But if you, I'm
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
I
purely
mean,
Well, like
single
the Star
player.
Wars game that just came out. Like I can't remember waiting ages and Jesus
Squadrons.
is loading. Yeah, like Jesus, loading
Still have
screen is
to wait a
big.
little
I mean,
bit.
another example is Destiny 2, because I mean, Jesus Christ, the loading times on that were
Go
ridiculous.
make a cup of tea before you got in on that one.
Yeah,
Now
but
it's literally
that
n-
shouldn't be
n-
the case though. Like,
no, well, it's just loading you into an online game and whatever. But
Right.
now it's literally as long as it takes to play the animation. So yeah, you're hovering above the planet. You've chosen to go. Yeah, you go to warp. You arrive at the planet and land straight away. I'm just like, oh my god. I would recommend. Obviously, storage has been a bone of contention on both consoles, so I would recommend. I don't know the crack is with the PlayStation if this will be the same thing, but if you do get an external hard drive, do get a solid state one. Because, like I say, I hooked up the SSD I'd been putting in the PS4, and you can download a load of games onto that. And fair enough, you can't take advantage of any next gen updates. What would happen is if I downloaded a game onto the external hard drive, when you look at the icon for it on the dashboard, it has like two arrows on it. And that means if you want to play it at its best, you need to transfer it over to the main hard drive. But
you're playing the old edition.
the time it takes to do that is it literally. I think the longest I had was I think Gears took about a minute to transfer the entire game over from an external to the
No, that's
You
internal
just
mental.
need
hard
enough
drive.
space on your internal to juggle it. Basically,
Yeah.
one
I
goes
think
in,
Yeah,
one goes out.
it's difficult
that's
to
it.
give it that much of a. How good is this going to? I mean, it's obviously going to be better when you're on an SSD. I mean, like even I'm playing like Assassin's Creed, and it's like the load time to get into your game when you first boot up.
I
Pretty
just
long, mate. It's not short long. It's
yeah,
not short
I
loading
just
time.
think it's a definite viable and cheaper alternative than like plumping out what's going to be in excess of 200 quid for a proprietary one that lets you do
Oh
everything in the
God, yeah.
internal hard drive. So you might as well just like, I'm not playing that anymore. Right, swap another one in because it takes a minute. You know
Takes
what
a
I mean?
load. It takes a
So
load, an old
there's
school
no point.
load time.
There's no point spending extra on fucking. Those prices are ridiculous for the
Are
Yeah.
those
internal
prices
ones.
likely to go down like rapidly, Clarky? Are they? Is this going to be like a Vita thing where they just stay expensive, like
No, I
storage?
know PlayStation. I don't know if they've released their whitelist of
No, they're hanging on to
manufacturers.
that one for a little
Yeah,
Yeah,
while.
yeah.
not yet. No.
I
Can't think
know
why.
I know someone was looking at some of the marketing bump Xbox gave for that proprietary one they've done with Seagate, and they are looking at making other ones with other manufacturers. So maybe as you get the more they make, I can imagine the cheaper they'll be depending on the manufacturer and what have you.
Yeah, yeah. But also
Yeah,
don't
I heard
forget,
there's a bit of an issue on the S because that's got a much smaller hard drive. I think it's like
Yeah, I think yeah,
350
yeah,
gigabytes.
300. I think it's 300. Is it 384?
don't
I thought it
know.
was 338, but I could be
Is it
wrong.
like a
It
half
might be
tera? Is it like 500 gig hard drive on there? Is it?
on the S.
Huh.
Well, yeah, that's what it says on the box, but
It
No,
says,
no, but I
yeah,
mean that's what I mean. So like yours is supposed to be a terabyte, but it's like 840 or
yeah.
whatever, and this is like
yeah,
a 500 and it's something. No, it's
yeah,
weird. But you know, the other thing is, as like games get more towards 4K textures, they're going to be bloody. I mean, what's Call of Duty is like 250 gig bloody install.
Yeah, I mean, I actually sent a picture to the group because remember they were trying to feed us with all this bullshit. I'll try and find it now about like well because of the architecture of the new games, even though they're huge, they won't be huge in storage space because we've got this new.
no,
Do you remember
Yeah,
all that nonsense? We
yeah.
had a lot of let's remember we had a lot of nonsense building up to this next gen.
Surely
Loading
not.
times are great, but I remember when they were coming out and they were saying there will be no loading times. Like,
yeah,
oh,
I know.
how quick will they be? They won't be quick. There will be no loading times. It's like that
Games
was
will
the
be
thing.
£20 and delivered by a Valkyrie warrior from the skies.
Do you
Yeah,
remember that though? They were saying that there'll be no loading times. Oh, the architecture will be smaller. Call of Duty's come out and released its stats. It doesn't look smaller, mate.
but
So
aren't they? But they're releasing it. They do something like they're releasing Warzone as a standalone game, apparently. But I know, for example, I can see 250 if you install. But even now, when on PS4 Call of Duty, not Black Ops, the Warzone one, Modern Warfare, you
yeah,
can choose to install bits or not install bits. That's a new thing. When you first you
yeah,
just had
that's
to
a new
install
thing.
the
So
whole
I'm
game.
talking about just the
But now
baseline
you
though.
can turn off like the single player and you can turn off the Warzone if you don't want to
Yeah,
just have a multiplayer or whatever.
but even with that, let's say there's 5 things you can turn off and there's
Mm.
5 things you can't. On both consoles, the 5 things you can turn off on the PS5 will be bigger On the new
Oh, yeah,
Xbox will
yeah,
be bigger.
yeah.
So for example, on the Xbox One, the new Call of Duty on the Xbox One, Cold War, it's 93 gigabytes. On the Xbox Series X and S, it's 136 gigabytes. Baseline game. So it's like, so where's this clever architecture? It's the same on the PS4,
Well, no, because
PS5.
hang on. It's always going to be like that because of the textures.
Yeah, but
Because the
that's
amount
what
of
I'm
data you're
saying.
pumping in.
The rumors, what they were trying to tell us before is, because of the clever architecture, don't worry, the size of games won't be bigger. In fact, they'll be smaller now because of the new SSDs.
No, I think what they meant by that was that you would have the ability to, if you weren't going to play the multiplayer aspect of the game, you could just not install it.
I'm not talking about I'm just talking about it.
I mean,
They
no, but I'm
upgraded it.
talking about that as well. So, like, for example, if you got like, I don't know, any of the games, like for example, you got Ghost of Tsushima. You don't have to install the co-op bit or the online element. You could just install the game rather than. So I think there was an element of that. I thought that's what they were talking about when they were talking about architecture. I don't think they actually meant.
No.
Because it's not physically possible to release a 4K game smaller than a 1080p game.
That's not how my friends and me read that.
I might be wrong.
I know with regards to the Xbox, the S version of a game will be smaller than the X version of the game. So if, say, Gears is 75 gigabytes, it'll only be 50 on the S because it doesn't have to download all of those additional graphics for the
4K.
Yeah, exactly. But no, this games are smaller. I think that's horseshit.
Yeah, it's complete nonsense. So with the S, you got 3 games and you've 3 quality AAA games like Call of Duty quality, and you filled up the console. Like it's not. It's one thing I am disappointed with. Like how are we getting last gen's consoles shipping with more on day one with more storage? I don't get it. Like what was the Xbox? Like PS4 Pro was a terabyte. What was the Xbox? I can't remember now.
Yeah, the standard one was 500. You could buy it with 1 terabyte.
Yeah, you could buy it with 1. I don't know. I'm a bit disappointed with that with both consoles. About the whole storage thing, and I had faith in games will be smaller because of the clever architecture. I haven't seen that so far. Anyway,
just one last thing to address on the Xbox. The old remember all that shit about them burning hot or whatever, cooking hot dog sausages on the top. You can't. It does. I mean, someone tested this and it's like, well, the PS4 Pro's hotter, the Xbox One's hotter than the Series X runs. I think the only reason why these people are going, oh, it's really hot, is because obviously by design, it forces literally everything out of the top. It can the air can only escape through the top. So you put your hand over the top, it's oh my god, that's quite warm. It's not like venting it out anywhere else.
But more importantly,
no, I haven't put a ping pong ball on it.
Damn it! Why not? I mean,
why not?
I'd have to do that now.
I said I haven't put a ping pong ball on it yet.
Put something. Put like a little, those little mini chicken Kievs.
What about your dog? Have you tried your dog on it?
Oh yeah, I can just imagine that. I have a Malteser floating there and notice chocolate dripping into my
don't know. I've seen it on the adverts with the straws, so you must be able to do it on that, right?
Yeah, but it'll melt it and then gunk my console up with chocolate.
Oh mate, well I'm very pleased for you. I'm very happy for you. I'm glad it's all good for you and it's like you're enjoying it.
No, it is. I think I'm enjoying more just how smooth it is. There's no fucking around or anything like that. It's just like pick it up straight in. Loving that part of it. Yeah. Obviously, when we get some games, I'll be able to go even more in depth on the old next gen thing.
Got any time scale on that at all? Just wondering.
Well, I was kind of thinking Cyberpunk, but that's not even going to be next gen when it launches, is it? On either console, it's like
me and you were talking about.
Yeah, but you will get that for the X, right?
Eventually,
of course I will. Yeah, but I mean, I'll get it for the X, and it'll be running it the best it can run the Xbox One
400
version
gig
of it.
Install.
We won't get, or like the PS5, we're running the best possible PS4 version of it, but we won't get all those. Clarky, we won't get all of that additional stuff. Is it next year it's coming?
Yeah.
It's gonna. I was discussing with Clarky. We were saying it's gonna be a bit disgusting. I'm gonna feel a bit disgusted buying a game that says PS4 in it to put it in my PS5 on day one.
But you won't.
I used to feel.
Yeah, I will. What do you mean? It's a PS4. It will say PS4 at the top. It won't say PS5.
I felt that with Battlefield 4. I'm just picking that PS3 case up and putting it in the PS4.
I've still got. It's still the box I've got.
What do you mean I won't be doing that?
Well, according to that's the initial release date was the 19th. So yeah, that ain't happening.
Like this one, I'm trying to say, whoever buys, it'll be the equivalent on an Xbox as well. Whoever buys Cyberpunk, they will receive that to put in the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox
Yeah, I
X.
guess so. I don't know.
Yeah,
They
That's what I'm,
planning on doing it.
just like they did with the UI. I don't think Xbox have changed the case design. It just got smart delivery written on the top of it instead in the
yeah, it
corner.
would just be
Yeah,
that.
December 10th.
Not far away.
Not far away.
And
But
then the next gen update sometime in 2021.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw this cool interview with a developer from the Unreal Engine, and he was basically saying how, like, I'm going to really summarize it, so go out and find it. But they were asking him about what his views are on next gen and how good the games will look, and he kind of said like they're not going to look that good because we have just now. So they've released the new Unreal Engine for next gen the day that the console's launched. So he was like, it's out there now. Anyone can use it. You can use it privately if you want the free or lower version. You can use professional companies can use it to develop their games. But he was like, every game you'll be playing now will be using Unreal Engine 4. So they will enhance it maybe with patches to make it look a bit better. But he was like, there'll be no games at the moment until at least he was like, well, however long it takes.
But yeah, you've got to be like, I don't know anybody who's expecting a massive graphical increase by. I'm not buying a PS5 for graphics here. I'm buying it for ease of use and.
This again, in a way, is kind of something else they've been a bit cagey about. This whole 120 frames
A
per second shit.
I need to know, mate, because I need to buy a new TV.
Well, no,
soon.
that's the thing. It's plastered all over that box. It's plastered all over the PS5 box, but hardly anyone has a TV that will run at games at 120 frames per second anyway. Mine and Pets will run it 60 frames max.
I don't
Will
want.
that PSVR's run at 120, Clarky?
Yeah, because you're not watching it through the TV, are you? Running through the goggles are specifically designed to run it at a much higher refresh rate, if you will.
Yeah. So if mine and your TVs won't run it at that, and they're considered like really good TVs for,
they're not considered really good TVs. Let's be honest.
Well, when we bought them, they were considered really, really good.
Yeah, in 1978, you know.
Do you know, Pet, our TVs are 5 years old, the actual model?
That's crazy, yeah. Well, I know because I bought mine 4 years ago, didn't I?
Yeah.
I bought mine near the beginning.
That's it, brand new, early adopter.
But no, but you're saying
our
that,
TVs are nearly 5 years old.
4K.
Like that's like, oh my god, it's like the ancient Egyptians coming back to us.
Like we're running it on a thing. But
crank it up.
Yeah, but yeah, you want your 120 frames a second, then you're looking at a grand's worth of TV, and it's like, no,
I don't want 120 frames per second. I don't need.
But that's the thing. I don't want it. I'm happy with 60.
To be honest, I'm probably happy with 30. I can't probably tell the difference. I don't know, but I just, it's the reason what new consoles is because.
But if you don't have the 4K, I think you should still spend the money and get a 4K TV. No?
I'd rather have 4K. Yeah, I'd rather have 4K at 30, 4K at 60. That I mean, I'm not going to notice that. I'm not going to notice any difference above that. So, yeah. Oh well. So to test out its graphical prowess, Clarky and I jumped onto Sea of Thieves, as aforementioned. Every time I jump into Sea of Thieves, I just sit there and go, this is amazing. What a beautiful, beautiful game. What a lovely game. And then we never play it for 6 months. Just seems to be the way. It's stunning. We talked about it last time, didn't we? Because I was saying that I took my daughter, sort of installed it for her so she could have a little play with it. And they've kind of done a new starting zone. Did you play any of the starting zone, Clark? I think you did, didn't you?
Yeah, it's
your maiden voyage, as they call it.
Yeah, I think you can have a proper look around the island, but the stuff it actually asks you to do, you're talking 10 minutes.
Yeah. You've got very much a choice of just going there, doing here's a shovel, here's a map, learn the basics.
Here's how you dig something up. Here's how you whack some up with a sword.
Yeah.
And then it's right, get onto the boat, and it gives if effectively all you have to do is sail in a straight line, but it kind of gives you the opportunity to try out your cannons and to do things like that.
Yeah. So it's a nice little tutorial bit, and I found the actual sailing to the Sea of Thieves really good. I liked that. It was like you'd love it, Pet. It'd be like a Greek Odyssey going through you had monsters ranging coming up alongside you and stuff.
It's a great game.
Ships being attacked by the Kraken and stuff. That was awesome. You know, it was just
What a
it's
game.
lovely. And I mean, so what they've also done in this, which they didn't have before, Pat, was
Yeah.
they've now got like an adventure sort of not a single player story, but like a multi-crew story that you can go on. So it's
Proper
called,
quests.
yeah, they're called Tall Tales, and they're basically
Wicked.
just, you know, so it's kind of what do they call it? Not PvP,
PvE.
PvE. That's it, exactly what it is. So you pick up these stories, and you have to go. So the first thing we had to do, we in the starting pub.
This whole thing you're about to talk about is what made this incredible. The fact that it doesn't signpost anything for you.
No,
You've got to figure the clues out yourself. You know, like you do with zombies, Pet. You
Yeah.
kind of figure stuff out as you go on. This was a similar thing.
yeah.
It gave
Really
you like
cool.
it gave you like the vaguest clue
Yeah,
possible.
yeah, you got to work it out.
So to get, we're not gonna, because there's quite a line. I don't know how many there are, but there's like these Tall Tales is like chapters, and you're basically trying to get to this big island full of treasure at some point, like that's the very end goal. But to get there, you have to do these little chapters. And sorry if you can hear the rain, it's because I'm sitting in the conservatory and it's absolutely chucking it down. So look at you two looking out your window like you live next door to me.
It's for effect, mate.
Is it? Oh.
It's pissing it down here as well.
Yeah,
But
well,
I've got
you're
like
up
a
north,
solid
obviously.
roof above me.
So the first clue you get is basically like you've got to go and find this sunken wreckage of a ship, and it just gives you a kind of real. I can't even remember what the first clue was, but it's something.
It said, yeah, it can't. Was this the one where it said, and then we went round here or around? Oh no, this one was
No,
just like we.
it's
Were some.
between these two
It's
islands.
between these two islands, and it just gave you a really vague idea where it was. So we kind of like set a course for right slap bang in between these. And
Yeah, so we went to these two islands. Then right in the middle of it, we saw a little shallow
oh,
island,
there was yeah, that was it. There's an
a wreckage
uncharted
of it. You could
island,
see
isn't
some
it?
wreckage of a ship. We thought, well, that must be it. So we went and landed on this little island, and then you followed the wreckage and you went underwater. You had to dive under the water to go and find the treasure chest, which had like the next clue in it, like the next book or whatever. So we took that up top, and then it was like this story of kind of like we started here, we went northwest until we hit this fort, and then we did this, and we turned like to the southeast and went there, and we're like, what the fuck? So you have to get on the map table, and you have to kind of look, and you have to kind of draw the plot where you think it might be, and choose the island you think it might be on. And we sailed to that, and then we got to this island, and it's like, right, you've got to try and find like somewhere to put this key that you'd found or something. And we spent like 40 minutes,
We
45
spent
minutes.
40 minutes, and it turned out if we'd have just have looked in the logbook and looked properly at even the pictures that they put in there, we'd have figured it out a lot sooner. But because we were just going off the words, we were like going, right, what are we supposed to do? So I kind
Yeah.
of opened the book again and went, hold on a minute, it's like there's something near that thing that we need to put the statue on, and we sort of did it from there, and which led to this
Oh,
absolute
it's brilliant.
insane moment. So it lets you into a room. Now, anyone who's seen an Indiana Jones film know what's going to happen when you get into the room with an obvious puzzle into it. So
Well,
I'm kind of,
you say anybody who watched an Indiana Jones film should know this. Both me and you both watched many Indiana Jones films.
well,
And I still
hold
went
on a
and did
minute.
it.
When we walked into that room, I looked around and I was like, right, don't touch anything. And I lifted the book up. Right, I'm like that. Put the book down, and Vimesy's lit these 4 fires in the room, and then the fires went out, and the room starts slowly filling up with water. I'm like, we don't even know what we're doing yet, so we're like flicking through these books, and the water level's rising and rising, and then at the end we kind of figured out that this page. It had 4 lines of symbols, and it lined up with these 4 blocks. So you had to kind of turn them so they matched line 1, then press the button on the central altar, turn them so they matched line 2. And it was literally one of those moments where we had about that much breathing room left, and Vibes was like, "I've got it!" Oh, water just empties out. I'm like, "Thank fuck for that." But that just
Awesome.
made it. That just made it absolutely amazing
You love it,
experience.
Pat. It was
So when you've done
absolutely.
that, is there like lots of these like new ones
Yeah, there's
every
a whole-
week? Or
there's
is
a
Well,
it...
whole-
yeah, that was kind of the end to this chapter, if
Chapter
you will,
one.
of it. So we got the idol, took it back to the guy at the bar who kind of gave us the next question. We called it a night there, didn't we?
Yeah.
But I
So
mean, that was what we get. We got 2 hours of.
yeah, at least a good hour and a half, 2 hours worth of kind of emergent play there. I mean, we spent 40 minutes running around this island trying to find where to put the key when it was literally right next to the first place we landed.
Those skeletons carrying the big barrels of dynamite. Vimes is there looking around, trying to spot one. Vimes, he running, he went wide. We're like, oh my god, it fucking blows us up.
But it's just And I still swear that is the most beautiful game I've ever seen. I mean, you get out on the sea there and you got the water, and it's just
the artistic like vision of the game is so good. For like, there's a lot of people out there that say like, oh, you know, the Xbox issue is there's not enough exclusives, but like the exclusives they have, like some of them are
They're
so
solid,
like they're so good. Some of the exclusives, like for me, it's worth buying them just for the exclusives. Like Sea of Thieves, fantastic. Quantum Break.
Do you remember before Sea of Thieves came out, and we were always ripping the piss out of it, saying, yeah, when it finally comes out, it'll be like one person in the game just stood on this huge hoard of treasure and nobody else coming into it.
Yeah, I mean, we called it because it suffered a little bit when it came out from that sort of
it was a bit like No Man's Sky. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. It's No Man's Sky.
Yeah, like there wasn't much. We sort of went in it and we did what we did, but there wasn't much to do. And sometimes when a game is so open, it says, "There you go." You know, share your slip, do whatever you want to do. You're like, well, what can I do? And there was kind of like three styles of quests.
Well, that's the issue I had. It was quite interesting because like after I booted up with my daughter, I had a real itch to go and play it, and I was like, well, you two weren't going to play it at that point, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to play it solo because I don't know what to do. No. I could like advance. I could go and do some gold treasure digging up and putting it, and then go and do some like trade runs or something like that.
But even in those early days, I could sense like, oh man, this game with some updates will be like fantastic.
Oh mate, at the moment you've got it's a bit like Destiny with the updates they've got. They've got like combat updates. They've got new regions to go into and explore. They've got new sort of PvE stuff that goes on. They've got like raids that you can go and do, or a raid at least. You know, that they've added, and I still don't know how they're kind of justifying spending the money on it, because it's like who's paid for this game?
I don't get this anyway, because I mean, like that bloody hack, if you will, I told you about earlier about getting Game Pass Ultimate for next to fucking nothing. It's like, how are they making money on this? So this, just a quick one, Pet. If you buy a 12-month, because obviously EA Access is now part of Game Pass, they're one and the same. You're not charged any extra for it. But if you go and buy an EA Access 12-month voucher, you can pick them up for about 16 quid.
When you bought one,
when you input the code into the Xbox store, obviously it doesn't exist anymore. So what it does, it redeems it as 4 months worth of Game Pass Ultimate. So for
which is 15 quid a month normally.
Yeah, $10.99
$10.99. Yeah, but I'm doing it in dollars, Clarky. Don't you remember?
Oh, please don't do this again.
Wait, hold on. So you bought the EA for £16, but actually, if you bought the Xbox part, you would have been paying just £15.
No. The 16...
EA's £16 voucher is for a year's worth of EA.
Yeah,
EA Access, right?
Yeah, but EA Access doesn't exist. So what happens is the Xbox converts it into
4 months.
4 months worth of Game Pass, so which would be 10, 20, 30, 44 quid.
Right, okay.
So
but it sounds like there's much better deals out there though. Like for if you do want Game Pass, though, isn't there better deals than £10 a month for
Game Pass? But if you want Game Pass Ultimate, so this is the thing. Right. Xbox are doing their normal thing of let's call it a series, an Xbox One, Xbox One X, Xbox Series X, Xbox S, Xbox X, Game Pass Live, Game Pass Ultimate. What's the fucking difference, right? So for me, Game Pass Ultimate is what I need because I want both PC and Xbox stuff, and it also includes like EA Access or what was EA Access, EA Play or whatever it's called, and all that.
And does Game Pass Ultimate come with Xbox Live?
Yes, it includes everything. So if you're doing it, you know, basically they'll be doing at some point. I imagine they'll phase everything else out, and they'll just be like Xbox Ultimate will be the only thing you get, and that'll be, you know, Live plus EA plus probably the fucking Disney Channel the way they're going, and whatever else, and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's just. I mean, some of the games they're playing at the moment, they're not really what I didn't think would be kind of so like Grounded looks like it's got a good start. They've got some good other bits and pieces because so Game Pass just has a really good solid library of games to go play. And I don't want to bang out because like PlayStation are trying to do the same thing with PS Now, but I just don't know anything about it. They're just not advertise it. They're not pushing it. I don't know if it's a good deal or a bad deal or anything.
It's not a good deal because Sony won't put their their brand new
First
games
party
onto
stuff.
it.
Yeah,
I
first
feel like they want you to go
They don't
and
want you doing that.
they got faith in their exclusives selling. Like Ghost of Tunismo, I think, came out and sold whatever it was, 4 or 5 million. They
Yeah, it was
said
good
this
5,
was just
wasn't it?
5
Yeah.
for a new IP. So they're
Yeah.
like, well, we'll make our money on £50 copies of that. But what I wanted to ask Clarky was, Clark, did you see any difference? Like, could you notice any difference playing this on the Xbox Sea of Thieves on the Xbox Series X as opposed to what was different?
It just looked a lot. The image was a lot cleaner and sharper. There was no. I found it a little bit laggy on the Xbox One, on the standard one. There was none of that on it. It was literally. It was like someone had said, "Here, this is this game. This is you put it in this machine. This will run the best it possibly can," and it did. I had absolutely no complaints whatsoever with how it ran. It just looked awesome, and it felt. And I know it's got a cartoony graphic style, but it felt premium, if you will. It felt like, yeah, this kind of justifies the money, if you will, this sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lovely game, and it's one of those games we need to get back on it. And Pat, you'll have to come join us because it's just so much fun. It's just such a lovely game just to run around in and do bits and pieces on. But yeah, so Clarky, do you want to talk about your other thing? Or have you not even broached the seal on it yet?
No, very carefully cut it up, and I picked up the little special Nintendo Game and Watch thing that they released that has Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 2 or
Oh, a new
Lost
one,
Levels.
a new Super Mario Bros. Is it?
No. And this is it. Look, there we go. Very pretty. Obviously, this means absolutely nothing to anyone listening to the audio version. Comes in a lovely dust-proof case.
Can we see the actual console though, Clarky?
He's not opening it, Pat.
I've already
Oh, he's not
opened
opening
it.
it.
No, I've opened it.
Oh, I was
As long
going to
as
say, showing
as
us
long
the
as
box,
it's
everyone who can't see.
as long as it's kept in pristine, as long as it's
Here's my
kept in
Xbox.
pristine
Here's the box.
condition.
Have you taken the cellophane off the screen? I bet he hasn't.
No, I don't think there is any on it.
What? They haven't put the little sticky thing on the screen. They must have done.
No.
Oh, he's still got the plastic. Oh, it's Diddy. I forget how Diddy these things are.
So there it is on its clock function. Obviously, this is.
Oh, yep, it's nearly 4:00.
There we go. We've pressed the
Oh,
K
so the
button.
clock works. That's good.
So we've got Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, and Ball, which was, I think, what the original game that was on this thing.
Is that the one we had to catch the ball? I mean, the juggling one.
Oh, that original one, that one.
And there we have the game. Look.
Cool.
Oh yeah, it's very nice.
It does this.
Haven't you played that one before?
Yeah, mate, I have. The screen on it is absolutely, it's Diddy, but I mean the quality of the screen.
We've lost him now, Pet. He's gone. He's gone.
The quality of the actual quality of the screen on it. I was expecting it to be one of those really horrible, like brighty, bleedy, cheap LCD screens, but it's actually a quality screen on it. Displays those 8 bits well.
So remind me, that was £50, right?
$44.99.
That's good. I think that's good value, man. Because that's like a solid piece of kit, a couple of decent games that you'll enjoy, and a clock.
Yeah, and a clock.
And a clock.
What more do you want? What more do you want?
We haven't even played ball yet. I mean, that's hours of entertainment. I remember playing with my ball all the time.
Ramsey, you're an old man. You still play with your balls.
I know, right? I can't leave
alone. You just have to reach down further.
Much, much further.
Oi.
Quick scratch of the ankles while I'm down here.
Yeah. Pat, have you been playing? I only realised this because someone posted it on my Twitter feed. Call of Duty. It's out apparently.
I've been playing the new one, no.
Okay. Because I've pre-ordered that digitally, and because we've been having our floor relayed because of some silly builders, I haven't got my PlayStation sort of plugged in at the moment, so I completely forgot it was even out this week. But there we go. So what have you been playing then, Pat?
Well, I'm not in a rush to buy Call of Duty. I'm not that interested in the campaign. And from what I played from the alpha,
you need to get good, man. That's it.
And what I played from the
what changes with this in regards to stuff like Warzone? What makes me if I play like yourself, if I just play Warzone, what makes me want to buy Cold War?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to get onto. Hence the reason I haven't bought it, Clarky. So,
You don't
so
need
when
to.
you look, sorry,
You don't need to. Warzone's free anyway.
Warzone's free. When you log onto Black Ops Cold War, you will see an option for Warzone. That's the same as you see now. So when you log on to Modern Warfare now or Warzone, you see, actually, since Cold War came out, you actually see the option to play Cold War as well. So you can click on it there, and if you want, you can purchase it, and you can play it through the same app as well. But they have Warzone. What you get that you can't get now is they have a standalone zombies game, which is good. Like the zombies that you play Black Ops are known for, which usually are very, very good. You get the new campaign for Cold War, which is the Vietnam one, which is very, very good. No, is it Vietnam? No, Cold War wasn't in Vietnam. I swear there's a Vietnam level there as well, though.
Probably. They'll cram it in somehow.
Yeah. The Cold War ones. And you get the new multiplayer maps, Clarky. So you get the 6 versus 6 and the Conquest style. So you get all of that stuff.
So is the zombie stuff only available if you buy this game as well?
That's correct, yeah. Yeah, so that's part of the Black Ops. So that's the reason for buying it. The issue I have is I played the alpha and beta. Didn't really like the online.
It wasn't very good.
It wasn't very good, the online.
No, it was good. You weren't very good, is what I'm saying.
Oh, come on now, boys.
That's not it. That's not it. It's just well, there wasn't a hardcore mode as well, so I didn't really
hardcore mode.
So then, if I was only to buy it for Cold War for campaign, I'm not interested. So if I was only going to buy it for Black Ops, I'm paying like a £50 game for just a side.
You don't. When you got Warzone, I mean, if that's the game mode you like to play, you got no need to do nothing else. I'm not. I just can't get on with Warzone.
Warzone released this week. I have been playing it a little bit because they released this week a higher texture resolution pack, which you can download, and if you don't want it, you don't have to. And it's compatible with PS5 and with PS4 Pro, so it ups the textures a little bit. I must admit, I hardly saw any difference. Like if you hadn't told me I had installed it, I would have noticed.
But you haven't got a PS5.
It's for PS5 and PS4 Pro, so you can.
Oh
play
shit! Mine would take off if it has to run that.
Yeah, you got a Pro, right?
I do. Although I'm rapidly about to sell it. If anybody looks for one.
So I didn't notice.
Just whisper quiet.
Whisper quiet.
Maybe it looks a little bit sharper, but honestly, like if someone told me I hadn't downloaded the high resolution textures, I wouldn't have noticed. Maybe it looks protested. Maybe it'll look even better on PS5.
Just out of interest, how big was the update for the texture pack?
Between 20 and 30 gigs. I can't remember now. It was pretty big, I think. Yeah, I think it was about that. I want to say 23, but I can't remember.
What's the install for Sea of Thieves, Clarky? A much better looking game.
Oh, don't be like that.
No, I know.
We need to get off this mindset. Console war's over. Everyone's doing things their own way.
Yeah, sit PC.
I think it's about 20, 30 gig. Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's nothing to do with console war. I mean, Call of Duty's out on everything. It's not a PlayStation thing that is big. It's just an Activision thing that is a very, very big game.
They just got to sort that shit out. Their updates are.
Well, I did get this week, and I played it with. I got the new PS5 headphones got delivered the other day.
The Pulse set.
Yeah, the Pulse set.
What about the controller? Did you get a spare controller?
Yeah, I got a spare controller as well. Yeah, I got the PS5 controller.
Come on, show it is.
You won't have unboxed it yet.
Oh.
Hold on. I'll be back in a sec. Talk amongst yourselves.
No problem.
What'd you do that for, Clarky? Why? Look, now he's going to go off. He's going to be like, "Oh, I've got to open my prized possession."
You could literally say me and Pet were in the same room with the colour of these walls.
Well, Magnolia. I mean, it's hardly like a.
It's not Magnolia. It's like beige.
It's Magnolia type kind of colour scheme there.
Yeah. Oh, I went in DFS last week, and I'm sure I saw your armchair.
Sorry about that.
That horrible yellow one.
Not a horrible yellow. It's a beautiful mustard colour.
Here's the headset, which I used yesterday.
Okay, that's weird.
It's really weird. They got this rubber bit here.
Yeah, that's not the weird bit.
Oh, what's the weird bit?
Well, the weird bit is I hadn't realised how deep the padding was on the ear cups. Because when you look at all the promotional stuff, it looks really slimline.
What, you mean this bit here?
Yeah, the ear cups, the foamy bits that go there, right? Because that don't look much.
They don't look any bigger than this.
No,
I think
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
just that it just doesn't have the bar down the side of it, does it? So it kind
what
of
bar?
makes them look better. Well, mine has like a
Oh,
bar
this bit here,
covering
you
them.
mean?
It's a bit more sleek on yours,
Yeah, they
so
just
it
put.
Yeah,
doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it makes it look like they're thicker.
I hope the
yeah. I mean,
audio
I
people are
don't.
picking all this up.
I mean, it does work, and it works the same way. It works through the little USB you stick in your PlayStation. But I didn't get any advantage of the 3D sound because that only works on next gen. And from what Aaron told me, I don't know if this is true. He said to me, the next gen 3D thing isn't to do with the headphones. He said to me. So he said to me like, these are pointless. I
It's
mean, I
the
wanted new
processing,
headphones.
isn't it?
He said to me, it's the console. So even if you
Yeah,
guys put in
yeah.
like the one Clarky's wearing, you'll still get 3D.
Well, that's what I
So
was on about earlier. Dolby Atmos is essentially your PlayStation 3D thing, and it'll play through any headphones.
yeah, yeah. So I got these, but I think for some reason the ones you got, Clarky, the gold ones, I've got them as well. They're not compatible with the PSVR. So
No,
I'm
the same with my ones. That I
yeah,
can't play. Even if it's like trying to get them on over the bloody headset for a start,
no,
but you can't. Every time I try, because just in case they've updated it occasionally, I try putting my proper nice headset on, and it just goes.
yeah. You got to put the
Can't
little
do that.
earbud ones
Can't
in.
do that with the
Mm.
PS5.
So I'm hoping they are compatible. I'm hoping. So there is an advantage there, but we'll see. I mean,
You
the
probably get an
very
adapter pair. You have to send off for an adapter and see if they'll allow you to have one.
Mine work on the VR as long as I plug them into the thing on the
Oh
side
no,
of
I'm talking
it.
about wirelessly.
All right,
wireless.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that is a
So
bit of an oversight.
Mm.
so these came with a USB-C um,
Good,
charging
good,
cable.
because
This
they're much.
didn't. This just came
Oh
this.
no, is it still got a little horrible micro
No, it's
port?
USB-C.
It's USB-C, but it just didn't come with a cable.
Oh right, okay. Phew.
So it's like,
PlayStation always try to take a leaf out of Nintendo's book.
yeah, but like a little bit like just before, like when I bought the 2.1s, which were 50 quid back in the day, even the golds, they came with this nice little pouch that you put them in. You can tie the pouch up. You can take it. It just came just the box. Like there was
I
nothing.
told you, mate. They've got you now.
To,
They've got you. They've got that arrogance back.
to be fair, they have gone a bit minimalist on the packaging this gen, haven't they?
Yeah, but just a little sack so we can hold them in, like, and not lose the wires and the USB thing. But anyway, so it works. It works with the PS5. It's comfortable.
How
It
does the
sounded
controller
good.
feel, Pat?
Well,
Oh my days, look at that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that,
it's
that ain't
like
gonna stay white, is it?
no. Well, I'll tell you something that I did notice straight away because it came with it. I haven't charged it yet, but it came with a charge, and I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see it's light and blue there?
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if that you know, we said like, oh, it's not going to work with PSVR because there's no blue light here anymore. I don't know if it works with that blue light.
It
Does
doesn't.
it not?
No, that's just telling you it's trying to pair. Because you can pair that. You can play
Oh, it
that
is.
with your. You can put that into your PS4.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I saw someone using it
You
on
can.
Resident Evil 3,
Yeah,
and
you have to wire it. You can't do
yeah,
it
yeah.
Bluetooth.
Someone was playing it on Resi 3, and the color changes depending on Jill's health if you're playing the game, which I thought was quite
Oh, that's
nifty.
cool. How does it feel? I mean, I haven't played it because I haven't got the PS5.
No,
So,
I know. But does it feel? Is it heavier? Is it lighter? Is it thinner?
oh, it's definitely
Fatter?
heavier. Yeah. I mean, the buttons to me feel worse, but that depends if you.
I heard they're a bit too like pushy rather than squishy.
I don't know what that means.
It's a technical term.
Has to be the worst description.
For me, they're just
I'd say.
I don't know if you can see that, but they're much lower to the actual console. So there's less of a push to get it down. So for me, that's not a good thing because I like kind of knowing I've pressed the button, like, you know, like a proper boop, like, which is what we had. So these are very, very low. But again, like, I don't know how that will actually play out. But yeah, they're extremely low. Like, what can you see?
How low can
Like,
you
they're
go?
not low on this side, so these feel good.
Right, now go
They
get
look
your other
nice 'cause they're
controller
glazed.
and we'll compare them because the audio listeners are loving that.
Yeah, so you asked me what I thought, but yeah, I don't know because I ain't been able to play with it. But it looks nice. It's a bit heavier.
So
We'll see
when
it actually
Curry's delivering PS5 next year,
goes. But I got that as well. PS5
oh,
version of Miles Morales. I haven't opened it yet. 50 gigabytes minimum, it says.
so have you dropped on Demon Souls yet?
No, I haven't. I spoke to Clarky about this. I'll tell you
Oh,
why.
there's your first mistake.
No, well, I went to buy it, and do you know how much they're selling it for?
60 quid, 70 quid.
70 quid.
70 quid
Yeah.
for a remastered game.
Oh, but it's a good one.
No, man, no.
Oh,
Spider-Man
hang on,
was 50 quid.
was this when it was a 70 quid for the hard copy or the digital copy or the what?
Hard
Hard
copy.
copy. Yeah.
Where from? Curry's?
Amazon. Yeah, it's
I
70
think
quid, but you've got to give a £20 voucher in your
I'm
curries to get it downloaded.
I'm I'm. This is the one and only thing I'm envious over you guys are because they've got the opportunity to play this game. But I am glad that they
God, yeah, it
chose.
is, isn't it?
Yeah, I am glad that this was chosen as a launch title because it kind of gives
Oh,
from software some of the a lot bigger exposure than they previously had. Because I know Dark Souls games and Bloodborne, they've always been kind of a little bit nichey, if you will, and not for everyone.
but look, if you've got a PS3, you could do it for your where are we? 25 quid or whatever it is instead of the 60.
Yeah, but I mean,
23 quid.
if you put Demon Souls on the PS3 next to Demon Souls on the PS5, you're looking at two different games. Just from I mean, there's graphic updates, and then
Oh, it
there's
looks
this.
so
Lucky, I
nice.
get that, but not 70 quid, mate.
No, no,
Mm.
I totally agree. I mean, I think 70 quid's obscene for a
Oh,
AAA title.
That's crazy.
Why though? Seriously, in all honesty, seriously, why?
Right, because
When game prices haven't changed that much in years,
oh, don't.
why?
So what? I mean, maybe there's a reason why they don't change for years, because every time the technology, like, are you saying what? Because the Sega game at the time was the new technology, so obviously
Yeah,
we're paying
but if
£50
okay,
for
so
Sega
if you
customers.
remember
Like,
when
you want us to be paying £200 a
look,
game now because
it basically goes up £10 every gen
no,
since
no,
the
Sega cartridges were like 40 quid.
nah since this since the Xbox and PlayStation 2, I'm going to say they retail like 40 quid.
No,
Then it was
I
50 quid
I
RP
paid for
for
I paid 40 quid for PS1 games, 40 quid for PS2 games, 40 quid for PS3 games, and I paid 40 quid for PS4 games. Admittedly, PS4 games were a little harder to find at 40 quid,
Yeah,
but I could
and
always find them.
I did exactly the same for Nintendo. I paid 80 quid for Nintendo One, 80 quid for
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I noticed you left Nintendo off that list, Clarky.
Yeah. No, but I agree with Clarky. Like, so what? So now you're saying all of a sudden, oh, they've gone up every year. What? The technology was
I'm
the
just
same.
saying that I can totally understand why
I th-
prices
Mate,
need.
it
that
should be
I
cheaper now.
don't I
Consoles now
don't
should be
agree.
cheaper.
I don't agree with the reasons they're given with all this extra development shit. Because I can tell you something: when GTA 5 gets released on the
Oh,
next gen consoles, they're going to charge 70 quid for that, and they made it fucking what 8 years ago.
yeah,
So
but
don't give me none
Clarky,
of that additional
all that
development
extra
cost
development
shit.
they've got.
And the price of consoles, if you see the price of consoles, they've gone down. So
Yeah,
if you
because
see like
yeah, but that's because the technology. Oh, no, look, I'm not even.
yeah, well, the technology of games
But
as well. That's the
but
price
they
of
take a
games.
hit on that for you to buy it. I don't know. I can see the arguments for why game prices should go up because at the moment, okay, would you want to say last gen PS4, Xbox One era games, their RRP was supposed to be 60 quid, but we all picked them up for like 45, 50 quid. You know, it
Yeah,
was only if you bought it digitally off the store you were paying 60 quid for it,
yeah,
right?
agreed.
Yeah, that's because
So,
even retailers know they wouldn't fucking sell at those
but
prices.
that's, well, they still did because I was lazy sometimes, right? You know, but I can kind of understand why they might be saying, well, 70 quid is what they cost to make these days. I don't know. Why not? I mean,
How
if
can it
that's
cost it? They haven't got any writers involved because it's all been written before.
I'm not talking
The,
about. I'm
all
not
the
talking. No, I'm not talking about Demon Souls
It's
specifically.
talking in
I'm
general.
talking about in general. Demon Souls, I think you're possibly right. It's like if it's a remastered game, they're just taking advantage of the fact that it's a launch title.
it's a
That's what I
launch
think.
title. That it's the same. What I was saying to
But
Clark
you
is
could
what they did with
hang on,
One
hang on.
Two Switch.
But you
When
could
that
say the
launched, it
same.
was like full.
Yeah, but that's Nintendo, right? You could say the same for like any Need for Speed or FIFA or whatever that comes out on next gen. Why are you charging me full price? Because it's the same game as last year, right? You know, when the 360 came out and I bought what was it, Most Wanted or um, Tiger Woods, whatever it was that year. It's like it's the same smegging game. Why am I still paying like 60 quid for it? Just because
But
it's
I
a
just don't understand. I don't understand the
no, no, okay.
argument
Look,
of
so
well,
okay,
it's a
right?
new game, it's a new
You
generation, so let's
right.
pay.
Okay, no, but the new generation, they're just going to make so there's not many PS5 games out. So this is a PS5 exclusive. So therefore, we can get away with charging it. I totally get the rip-off aspects of that. But I don't get the argument for it's a remaster. Therefore, we shouldn't charge you that kind of money because a
Well,
remaster, hang on, a remaster of that quality on Demon's Souls, right? Where they had to go from the ground up, they've measured the exact timings, the amount of love and effort they put into that. I understand that. Whereas you could argue fairly accurately, I think, that FIFA 21 is just a remaster of FIFA 20 and far more of just a remaster of FIFA 20 than Demon's Souls of Demon is of Demon's.
Oh,
So how come they can get away with charging a full price?
I don't think they
for a
should.
game?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying.
kind of
I think FIFA's more of a reimagine than any other game. But I'm saying in general, I don't care if it's a remastered Demon's Souls. I don't care if it's an enhanced FIFA. I don't care if Kojima woke up one day, snorted as much coke as he could, and goes, "I've got a brilliant new idea for a game," and put it down on paper, made it quadruple A. No game should be 70 quid. Whether it's next gen, this gen, it shouldn't be.
Why not?
This,
It's
because
too much.
It's too much.
Not? So
what you're saying is it's new technology. So what? So what phones used to be cheap on that?
Hang on.
Used to be are cheaper now.
Screw the technology. Why not?
Because it's not.
Why is 60 quid our limit? Because I tell you what, 10 years ago, 60 quid was our limit. 50 quid used to be our limit, right? Or 50 or 60 pound. I remember this. I remember listening to podcasts, whenever it was 7 years ago, whatever, and everyone kicking off saying, well, 60 quid games, they'll never bloody sell.
No, but Ramsey, with your attitude, you can apply your attitude to anything. Back in the day, a mobile phone used to be like £1,000, £2,000 to buy some of the first
And they
mobile
still
phones.
are.
You're going now. Oh, why is a mobile phone 50 quid? But
they still are. They still are. You go out and you buy the latest iPhone, and it's over $1,000.
Oh, forget the iPhone.
Right?
I'm just
but
saying
I
you
decide
can go out and buy a mobile phone.
I decide to buy one that's cheaper. So, right, if they want to release these games at 70 quid, I totally understand why they might want to do that, regardless of the fact it's a next gen thing.
Yeah, I get Pet's argument, but at the same time, I know that most retailers you'll still be able to pick them up around about 40 or 50 quid.
And that's the thing. That's what you'll do. So, for example, in however many, 3 months' time, Demon's Souls you can pick up for 40 quid somewhere, right? That's what will happen. So you hold off buying it now. You'll get it as you do for I've just bought Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I'm not going to talk about on this show.
Okay,
but I know that in 3 months' time you can pick it up for 25 quid off the PlayStation Store.
So as a medium, let's put it this way, yeah. So you're going 70 quid, fine, why not? Where would you draw the line then, Vimesy?
But that's
no,
the
where
thing,
would you
isn't
draw,
it?
what would you not be willing to pay if next gen came out and goes, here you go, a game's £200? Where would you draw the line, mate?
I think it's about the quality of the game, isn't it?
Where would you draw the line?
Well,
no matter the best quality game you've ever played.
But there isn't a line, because that line is always moving, Pet, and that's the point. Because that's what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
Back when I first bought my first Xbox, right? It was like, oh, I've got to pay £40 for a game. That's a lot of money. Because I was playing on PC before that. Games were like £20, £25 tops, right? It was 30 quid, 40 quid for a game. This console tax extortion, isn't it? Then in wonder Nintendo with their fucking N64 and blow everything out of the water. But so that was the line then. Then you moved to 360 and PlayStation 3 and whatever, and it was like, oh, suddenly the bar's now 50 quid. That's what games cost. It's like, oh, the bar's moved again. Oh, where do I draw the line? Well, the line was drawn for me. Then we get to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and suddenly it's like 66, 60 quid is the RRP.
But you're
so you're saying where does the line?
Yeah, no, I'm saying where would you be happy then with the line stopping?
It depends on the game. So, for example, Witcher 3, £100 game. I'll take my money. Have my £100. That's fine.
What are you
right?
about?
Tetris Effect. Nah. That's. So it's the quality of the game. It doesn't
you're
matter.
Happy that if good quality games were 100 quid from now, you're happy that half the people out there that are struggling.
No. Don't do that.
What?
Don't do that, because that's like. Well, that's like saying, I'm suddenly being rich and elitist and stuff, and I'm not. And what I'm saying is that wouldn't it be lovely if all games were £10 and we could all buy games? It's like, it doesn't fucking work.
I'm saying
like
it would
that.
be lovely. It should be like that.
Okay, right.
But I don't agree with you. I've got Sega games still, which I bought as a kid with the bloody stickers on that show how much they were.
Yeah.
And do you remember like the bloody Virgin shops? I got a little. I don't know why, but I used to buy little Sega games from Virgin.
There's probably something there, mate. I'm just saying.
Maybe. But I remember there's like £45 stickers on them.
Yeah.
Sega games.
Yeah.
So like, I don't get it.
I'm just saying, I don't think you can. Why should we expect things to stay the same? Why should we expect things to be like, oh, it's going to be 60 quid forever or 50 quid? Because we used to think 40 quid forever or 50 quid forever.
I get I get what you're saying, Vimesy, but at the same time, they should have been a little bit more delicate about it. They fucking know
They're
that.
not going to do that.
No,
They're not going to
they
do
they
that.
they know that they put their RRP on a game, and they know that I actually paid 40 quid for that game. They know what these retailers are selling it at, and then they just crowd say, "Oh, they're 70 quid now."
Yeah, but I'm not being funny, but if Amazon are selling it for 70 quid, who's selling Demon Souls now for less than, say, 60?
Well, no one, because it's a launch game.
Right. And I've
No
seen
one.
lots of photos on Facebook and Twitter of people holding up their copy of Demon Souls, mate. So they don't give a shit.
Well, they want
No,
something
they
to
don't.
play,
But
don't
then,
they?
But
but
that's
then
the
there's
thing.
people
It's
like me going, "Well, I haven't bought it because it's 70 quid." So there is people like me as well. You're not going to see a
yeah,
picture
sorry,
of
but
someone like me going,
they're like
Look cool."
at some point you'll buy it, and that's fine because they've made their money off the 70 quid. Then when it drops down to like 50 quid in a sale, everyone go, "Oh, that's a good deal now because it's dropped down 20 pound." It hasn't really, but people will buy it then at 50 thinking, "Oh, I've made a saving." So I don't know where we're going with this argument, but I'm just thinking I can totally understand why they do it. I think that gamers often feel very entitled to turn around and say, "Oh, I'm not paying more than that because of blah blah blah." But actually, you see how much games cost to make these days. When you're talking about, was it God of War is over 100 million or something like that to make and all this kind of stuff. If we want that level of quality and that level of fidelity, how should we be able to demand? It to be released at 40 quid again. It's like, I
Well,
don't,
like
I can, okay, so
I
Pat,
do
I
see
can,
what you're saying.
yeah.
Like a game in a way, it's like property. Yeah, how much is a house? Like you can get a small house in London for £1 million. No, a small flat in London for £1 million.
Yeah.
That will buy you a mansion down in wherever, I don't know, Dartford or something. Yeah, you get
Yeah,
a
I'm
mansion.
not quite sure you're going at the right. I'd have gone for like a car where you could buy a Ford Fiesta for like 15 grand, or
Well,
you
yeah,
can
like
buy a
I get
Merc
the
for
argument. It's
100
like
grand.
what you're saying is like, well, what's the value of that asset to you? Yeah, like Witcher 3 for you is valued at £100, so you're willing to pay £100. Like I'm willing to pay. That house is
I don't
worth as
want
much
to
as
pay.
someone's willing to buy it
No.
at.
So look, I'm not really. I think the value proposition is weird, but and possibly a line we shouldn't have gone down. I'm just saying that when you're looking at the RRP of games, what manufacturers put it up for, I've heard it all before. Game, RRP suddenly 70 quid. Everyone's up in arms about 70 quid being the RRP. I remember exactly the same flings being flung at it when it was 60,
Yeah, I get
when it
what
was
you're saying.
50, when it was 40. We
I'm just
say
saying
this.
your argument though. If we don't have that argument over this, we will have it over. Like, okay, tomorrow I go to the cinema. Here's an £80 ticket to see the film. Oh, why? Oh, because Leonardo DiCaprio's
It
new film
used to
cost
cost
200
me.
million to make.
No,
I don't
it
give a
used to
shit.
cost me £2.50 to go to the cinema back in day when they had the organ at the front. But I'm not kidding. It costs a bloody fortune to go to
If
the
you go to
cinema,
the cinema
right?
and then you still run it
Yeah,
like that.
I get what he's saying, Pete. I mean, these launch titles are all going for like 60, 70 quid, but the next slew of titles that come down, you'll find them available at retailers for less.
I think it's just you give it 6 months, see like the excitement of the new gen dissipate a little bit, and you might see the RRP come down. But I think we get very entitled very quickly to turn around and start going.
No.
But we've
I just
done
don't
it
like the argument
every.
of, oh well, that cost a lot to make. Like for all we know, this £50 came. I don't know what the numbers are, but
I'll tell you
for
what,
all I know, this
that didn't
cost more
cost
to
100
make
million.
than Demon Souls. So why isn't this entitled to be 70
No,
quid?
they just reused the bloody. Anyway, I'm not going there.
No, I don't. I'm just saying
That's basically a remaster. You're happy to? No, anyway. I don't know, mate. My argument isn't the fact that they're not trying to rip us off, because they will always do that at the launch of a console. NAC used to be 60 quid, for fuck's sake. I mean, if we're going down that line.
I know, but we're also seeing gaming being the cheapest it's ever been, which is a good thing. The most popular games of this generation that have gone by, forget Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, Fortnite, free to play.
Yep.
Free to play games, like not £70 to get in.
Nope.
Free to play, made the most revenue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know, and it's one of those. It's not. It's an argument, is it? It's just a debate. It's like, I don't know, but I can totally. I get a bit pissed off when people say, "Oh, we shouldn't be paying £70 for a game," if there isn't a rationale for not paying 70 quid for the game. Because I understand where you're coming from about the fact, why am I paying £70 for a remaster? I kind of understand that. It's like, but they still, that's a remaster of a game that came out in 2009.
Was it? Yeah.
I can't actually remember when Demon Souls came out, but
2009.
Yeah, so a long time ago, 11 years ago, whatever it was, right? Whereas a remake of last year's FIFA, that's okay.
Yeah,
They're different, and I get that, and I know I'm being a little bit devil's advocate here about
yeah.
it. But
Just to obviously redirect it off this subject now, just
oh,
yeah, it's going to end up being double the length of the show on one point. Anyone who is buying Demon Souls looks absolutely gorgeous, but it is
oh,
really, really hard. And
very, very hard.
keep in mind this as well. You're playing essentially. I know From made games before Demon Souls, but this was kind of their first foray into what became Souls as we now know it, and it's going to have some stuff in there that you find frustrating because that happens. You know, you get your first run through of a game, you make your first game, and then when the sequel comes out, you think, well, that didn't work in that game, so we'll take that out. But obviously, Demon Souls is the OG one, so it's going to have this shit in, but
Mm.
remastered, and it is much harder than Dark Souls.
You would probably be better off buying Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne if you want an introduction to the Souls universe. Don't think just because this is the first one you have to play it in any kind. This is far harder, and don't even start me on world tendencies.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So they might please have they not got an option in this one to turn that off?
Nope.
Fuck. Right, so that's put me right off playing this again. So world tendencies, for those who don't know, if you are thinking about picking this game up, essentially, if you play the game and you die a lot, your game gets a lot harder, which is kind of the wrong way round.
It punishes you.
It really fucking punishes you. What you want is if you're dying a lot for the game to go, he's having a hard time. Let's make it a little bit. No. We're not going to do that. So just be warned.
So, Ramsey, you're not playing Demon Souls on day one. Call of Duty, you've pre-ordered on the PS4 edition, I assume. Oh, it is the PS5 edition.
I coughed up the extra $5 for the digital.
I was going to say, what are you
version.
playing on next week on launch day?
I
Sea
don't
of
know,
Thieves
because like
with
I
me.
said, I'd probably forgotten it was launch day, so probably Sea of Thieves. No, for the PS5, there is no game out on the PS5 that I'm like, I really, really want that. I will use my experience of playing some games on the PS5 to decide where I buy Cyberpunk, but Cyberpunk will probably go on the PC, just purely because of mods, and that game's crying out for mod stuff to happen to it. Oh, it is, Clarky, it is.
I mean,
If I could, no, as in, can I turn my swords into a lightsaber? That's what I mean. So,
Thomas the Tank Enemies?
damn right, baby.
Surely not.
Damn right. Yeah, I mean, like, and also just the longevity of that. So, PS5, what my plans by day? There's only two launch games, aren't there? Miles Morales and, if you don't include Bugsnax.
No, there is a few. I don't remember them.
It will be.
I was going to say, Pet, you'll be playing Miles Morales on launch day. What are you going to play on Friday?
It's true.
I don't know. I've still got Ghost of Tsushima to finish off. So
I heard the Astrobot demo was actually
the Astrobot demo. I will be playing that because my kids will. I want to get my daughter on that because she'll probably quite enjoy that. So yeah, I mean there'll be things, but it's a long-term investment, Pet, not a short-term.
Yeah, completely. I don't think we'll be playing anything of significance next gen until next year, like late next year.
Until the next gen.
Yeah.
I think we best leave it there, really, because we don't. Oh, bloody hell! I don't think we've got time to talk about the rest of the stuff, so we'll have to save that for next week's episode, when hopefully I'll certainly, because I've ordered mine from Shop2, have my PS5. Pet might have to wait a little.
No,
longer.
Seriously, don't even joke about this because like I've been there firsthand, and it's not nice, guys.
It's not a joke. It's the truth. He's just talking facts.
It's not. You'll get it. You'll get it.
They sent a picture to Ramsey going like,
sorry, hang on.
Ready.
No, I'm just picturing the last time I heard Clarky.
At the end of the day,
hang on. The last time I heard you saying those words was about the time he made a certain bet about a PlayStation 5, and you're like, "Don't worry, mate. You'll get it. You'll get it. I ain't going back on my word. You'll get it."
Everyone always says this before they call. Oh, I'm not that bothered. I'm not that bothered. Then launch day comes, and what was Ramsey like? Oh, can I pick up a new Series X anyway?
Mate, I'll be working.
Oh, give me that. You'll be well excited.
Not really.
You'll be excited on the day.
I am measuring up my cabinet as we speak. I don't think I can get my PC and a PlayStation 5.
I had to take the shelf out of mine just to fit it in.
Well, I'll go send you some photos later. And then I'll send you some of my cabinet.
For Ramsey to get more excited, I think he does need to buy Demon Souls.
No, it's not going to happen. It's not, because the Clarky's just reminded me
I
how
think-
damn hard it was.
No, but I think you need to. I think
No,
you need
I think I need
you'll
to
enjoy the experience.
No,
better.
I think what I might do is might get Dark Souls 3 back out and run at that again.
Yeah.
No, I'm
I'm
gonna
up for
play.
that.
No, I'm not, mate. I've got Valhalla. I'm playing at the moment. I want to get onto more Sea of Thieves. I've got Call of Duty, the new one that's come out for my multiplayer hit up.
I'm surprised you
I'm
even
fine.
switched Valhalla on after SkillUp's review of it.
Well, the little git didn't get his bloody review out until day and a half after I bought it. So
Vimesy was like all excited buying Valhalla, and I said, "Have you seen SkillUp's review yet?" It's like, "No," and then I sent him a screenshot of the video, and he just summed it up with 3 points on his like cover screen: boring, bland, repetitive,
or bloated, yeah, wasn't it?
bloated.
No, it's it's exactly what I expected it to be. So yeah.
Always sells well though.
Well, I was going to say actually, what I was impressed about is because I bought this directly off the Ubisoft store on the PlayStation
Yeah.
for 50 quid. So going back to our argument about prices on games, I was amazed it was only 50 quid on the Ubisoft store. So,
But that's not the next gen version though, is it?
it's a PC game, Pat. They're all next gen.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so
We need to be careful how we use that whole next gen version stuff, because it's just the same game but kind of enhanced, if you will, for a lot of the stuff.
But I think if they slap PS5 on it, I wouldn't be surprised if we go now to Amazon, go PS4 Valhalla 50, and then they slap PS5 on the top,
I'm
and it's
fairly
70.
sure. No, there is a difference if you were to buy like the different versions of the game. If you were to go in there and pay you want Valhalla or whatever, there is a different version.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not get back onto this price thing.
Oh, why not?
No.
Oh,
I'm putting my foot down.
I heard that.
Good.
thump.
You were meant to.
PlayStation 4 edition is £52.
Don't.
PlayStation 5 version is £52.
Oh, good.
Good.
There you go. So much for your £70 launch game. Anyway,
They've actually used.
yeah, it is. Okay. So, yes, if you want to get in touch with us about your launch, or you want to have an argument with Pet about pricing of games, not me, because obviously I'm right. I don't actually know what we were talking about, but there we go. If you want to, you can get hold of us via our email address, which Clarky will now read.
gamersconfessional@gmail.com.
If you want to get hold of us on the Twitters, which is probably the best way to do it, at Confessional Pod, or I'm at Vimesy74. Clarky is at Clarky Snap. Pet is at Life of Pet. Until next week, gentlemen, when we shall all be members of the illustrious next gen. Mwahaha.
Well, you buying a Nintendo Game Watch as well?
Go fuck yourself, Pet. Go fuck yourself. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.